Today let's take up the topic of sales book. Sales book is basically drawn in the same way as the purchaser's book that we have seen in the last session. When we talk about a purchaser's book, we are talking about the credit purchases, and similarly when we talk about the sales book is for entering those transactions, those sale transactions which are on credit basis, right? So the cash sales will not be entered in the sales book, only the credit sales will be entered in the sales book. And another point to be noted here is only the sale of goods will be entered in the sales book, and not any other sale. Like if we are selling some furniture or some machinery, that will not come here. Only the sales of goods are entered over here, right? So for a transaction to be entered into a sales book, these are the points that you should keep in mind, that the transaction involves sales on credit, right, with no immediate cash payment. Second point, that the sale of goods, I'll put it this way, that the sale should be of goods in which the business enterprise deals, right? If these two conditions are satisfied, then the transaction should be put in the sales book, and from the sales book we can directly do the ledger postings, right? Now I'll take up a small question to do this sales book. This is the question here. Enter the following transactions in the sales book and post them into the ledger. Sold to Messrs. Rana and Company 1000 meters of cotton cloth A type, rupees 13 per meter. Then the second one is sold to the same company 2000 meters of cotton cloth type B at rupees 10 per meter. Trade discount is 10%. Then the second transaction, sold to Cloth Emporium 1000 pieces of jeans at rupees 200 each, 500 pieces of woolen pullovers at rupees 250 each, trade discount 10%. Now we are going to put this in the sales book. First of all, the sales book format is the same as your purchases book. Okay, so here we write, this is the sales book, date, particulars, ledger folio, invoice number, details and amount. Okay, dates have not been given here, so nothing will be mentioned, right? So we come to the particulars column. This has been sold to Messrs. Rana and Company, so here you will write Messrs. Rana and Company, fine, and under that you will write this 1000 meters of cloth, rupees 13 per meter, right? 1000 meters of whatever is the detail that is given there, cloth A type, right, cotton cloth, whatever, 1000 meters of cotton cloth A type at rupees 13 per meter, right? At rupees 13 per meter. and here in the details column you will write 1000 into 13, right? That is basically 13,000, right? So that will come, I'll put it this way. There's no need to show this, just put it as 13,000 here. Here in the details column, put it as 13,000. And then the next one is 2000 meters of cotton cloth type B at rupees 10 per meter, right? So here you have 2000 meters of cotton cloth B type at rupees 10 per meter, right? So that is 2000 into 10, which is 20,000, right? So now after this they have shown trade discount is 10%. So this is basically 13,000 plus 20,000 is 33,000 here, 33,000, and you will have less trade discount 10%, right? So that is 3,300, right? So 33,000 minus 3,300, 33,000 minus 3,300 is 29,700, right? So here we will have 29,700, which will go into the amount column, right? Now there is one more transaction, so let's put that also below this. Okay, here you see sold to cloth emporium. So here you will have, you can draw a line after this like this, right? And here you write cloth emporium. Now they have sold 1000 pieces of jeans of rupees 200 each. So the first one is 1000 jeans of rupees 200 each, right? So that is 200 into 1000, which is 2 lakhs. And then you have 500 pieces of woolen pullovers at rupees 250 each, right? $500 pullovers of rupees 250 each, right? So that comes to 500 into 250, that is equal to 1,25,000. So the total is 3,25,000 here. And the trade discount allowed is 10% again. So here again you will have less 10% trade discount, that comes to 32,500. So you have 3,25,000 minus 32,500 is equal to 2,92,500, right? That will be the final figure here. And then these are the only two transactions that we have in this example. So I'll total this, right? So 2,92,500 plus 29,700, that comes to 3,22,200, right? Now once this is done, this is the sales book that we have drawn, right? So the first transaction here, Messrs. Rana and Company, and then the next one, Messrs. Cloth Emporium, right? Okay. Now after this, how to post them into the ledgers, right? So here in the ledger you will have the first account, which is the sales account, right? Now here you will write, sales account will always have a credit balance, right? So on the credit side, you'll have by total sales as per the sales day book or just the sales book, right? So whatever was the total there, I think it was 3,22,200. So I'll put that here, 3,22,200, right? This is what will go into the sales account, right? At the end of the period, right? Supposing this transaction is for the month of November, let's say. So this will come on November 31st. That is the end of that month. If it is for the whole year, then the end of the year, right? 31st December, like that, right? Okay, now after that we will have the accounts of the individual debtors, right? So here we have Messrs. Rana and Company, right? And the day when the sales have been made, in our case we didn't have any date there, right? Otherwise, if a date had been there, right, then on the, this is date, particulars, amounts, right? And on the credit side again, date, particulars and amount, fine. So let's say if the date, if the sales was effected on a particular date, let's say November 15th, something like this, here you will have two sales account, right? Two sales account, and whatever you had in the sales account for Rana and Company, this was the amount 29,700, that will come here, right? So this is the ledger posting for them. Same way for the other one, that was, I think, Messrs. Cloth Emporium, right? Same way you will have date, particulars and amount. So it will come on the debit side only. So here let's say the date is, let's say, November 23rd or something like this, right? Two sales account you will have, and the total of that sales, right? This was 2,92,500, right? So here we had 2,92,500. So like this, the ledger postings will be done from the sales book, right? So this was a small question on sales book. So basically these two things you have to understand, that the transaction credit sales will be entered into the sales book, and the sale should be of goods and not of any other property or asset, right? Okay. And if there is a trade discount, then trade discount should be deducted from this, right? So that's all you have to learn in sales book. So with that, I come to the end of this session. Bye.